I'm having sex, I'm supposed to be into it. I'm having sex, I'm supposed to be into it. I'm having sex, I'm supposed to be into it. Somebody's penetrating and pounding you and your brain is not into it. The body is going to now translate that as rape. So you have been getting raped over and over again on a subconscious mind level, and you wonder why you feel depressed, empty, and unfulfilled. Repeat after me. If it isn't an 100% hell yes, it is a no. If it isn't a 100% hell yes, it is a no. If it isn't a 100% hell yes in every cell of your body, it is a no. One thing that really upsets me and really gets me going, and not in the best way, is this idea of consent and sexual assault and rape, and how there is gray areas in sex because of hookup culture, because of casual sex culture and the rise of casual sex. There was this agenda, this push to say that women react to sex just the same way that men do, and we're equal and all these good things, except that's not true. Our brains are built differently. Our evolutionary DNA is different. Women are different than men. Men are different than women. It doesn't make one better than the other. It means that we can't exist without each other. With that being said, we completely ignored that, and this culture and society decided to push the idea that women and men have the same proclivity when it comes to sex, view sex the same exact way, and all these things, except that's not true for the average woman. And you can see this when we look at the data, where right now almost 75% of women don't experience vaginal orgasm in sex. That is a lot. Over 75%. So most women do not experience penetrative orgasm, but most men do easily. Women are more emotional beings. Our brains are wired for connection a lot more than men. Our brains need certain things in order to be turned on. For men, yes, they also need their brain to be turned on and stuff like that, but it's very much so activated for women. Our sexual appetite really gets activated in a more complicated or sophisticated way. We require our brain to be able to be in it first and foremost. The brain is the biggest sexual organ, especially when it comes to women. And if she doesn't feel good in the brain, she's not going to feel good in her body, and especially in her womb. But what happens is we are taught that every woman is just supposed to be these sexual beings and just turned on for no reason, like porn. Like, yeah, we're just into it and X, Y, and Z without any form of foreplay, sexual stimulation. But what else gets in the way of actually feeling relaxed is, I believe that most people are not supposed to really be having casual sex, because the root of casual sex is soulless and emotionless, and it doesn't allow you to fully feel safe. And the average woman needs to feel safe in order to experience the most in sex. And safety, yes, you can say you can feel safe with a random person you meet on the street, but the average woman needs commitment. The average woman needs connection. The average woman needs communication. The average woman needs certain things to feel safe, because even if her body is turned on, but her mind is turned off, or she's not 100% into it, or she's worrying about how she looks, or she feels like she's not good enough, or she's worried about the day and all the stressors because she's not getting provided for. And she has to provide 50-50. And she has to work. And then she has to take care of kids and worry about money and finances. Why is she gonna get turned on? She's not being properly taken care of. Let's talk about it. But society wants to pretend like certain things are just okay when it's not. So here's my message to every single woman out there. If it isn't a 100% hell yes, it is a no. If it is not a hell yes, if there's any part of you that feels like, I'm not really ready for sex, I don't care if it's your boyfriend, I don't care if it's your husband, your mind needs to be there. Because what happens is, the moment that we say yes to sex, even though we're not ready, even though we're doing it out of guilt because he took us on a nice date, so that automatically means now for the average person that I must have to give him my sex. The bar is getting way too low. Okay? The bar is getting way too low. I made a video where I talked about this, and I'll be honest, I didn't go into depth on how hard it is to say no to sex, even though we are programmed to automatically assume that we owe someone something. And a lot of us can't use our voice and say, hey, I'm not ready yet, or hey, I don't feel ready to do that yet. It's hard to do that in this society. And I will be honest, I didn't talk about that because I struggled with that too. But at some point I had to learn how to listen to my body and not to just go with the flow and just to go with whatever. No, like I need to make sure that I feel safe and I feel secure before I open my body up to anyone. And you want to know how this is true? Some women will have sex with a man and she'll experience pain. Like, comment down below if you've ever experienced pain during sex. 9 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10, you're experiencing pain out of sex, maybe perhaps because you're not fully into it. You don't fully feel turned on and you don't fully feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Because what happens is when the vaginal canal isn't really 100% turned on and isn't really 100% okay with the action of sex, even though we're programmed to think it is, but we should just go with the flow. But let's say that's not the case. What happens is you end up having consensual, really not really consensual sex. I'll explain that later. But you end up having consensual sex and you just go with it because you feel obligated. And then your brain doesn't know the difference. So if you're having sex when you're not 100% turned on, that flower, which is your womb, has not blossomed and hasn't fully bloomed. Because what happens is, one, you'll see that naturally you'll start to contract your muscles because inside the vagina is a lot of muscles like your pelvic floor and stuff like that. So you'll unconsciously start to clench, and you might be clenching all the time without even realizing it due to stress, due to a lot of different things, and also due to not 100% being comfortable. So that's one reason why you might experience pain during sex. Another thing is when you are 100% turned on, your vaginal canal actually expands 3 or 4 inches. When it's not turned on, it's pretty shallow. But when you are turned on, it actually expands. And now it can actually, welcome the penis. So the average woman is trying to have sex, even though your body will get wet, it might not be to that highest level because you're not 100% into it. So now you're experiencing pain during sex and it's like, oh, he's running, I'm running. Like, he's like, why? Stop running. But you're running because you're in pain. And this is something that you need to honor. You need to honor when something doesn't feel right. You need to honor when you're not 100% ready. You need to honor that maybe a lot more women out there, you may need to be in a committed relationship before you have sex. You may need to have a guy show interest in you and that he actually will provide for you because your DNA and the way your brain has been wired this whole time knows that I'm not going to have sex because sex means procreation on the evolutionary level. I'm not going to have sex with a guy who hasn't proven that he can provide for me. I'm not going to have sex with a guy who hasn't proven that he can provide and protect for me, which is what dates do, which is what courting does. For him showing that he can actually be there for you, like when he says he's gonna do something, he's gonna do it, and X, Y, and Z. Maybe a lot more women out there actually need those things to feel safe in order to have sex on that deep level, because that is our wired. That's how we're wired. That's how our DNA has been programmed this whole time. There was no access to a woman's body if a man could not prove that he could actually provide for her and protect for her, that he was gonna do what he needed to do. But along the line, we started lowering our standards. Your body is trying to tell you something, sis. Your body is trying to tell you, you need to understand that if you're not into it, other than just the psychological stress that you could be experiencing in your day-to-day life, other than you existing a lot in your masculine energy, taking out the trash, taking care of kids, taking care of the family, taking care of people, making sure everybody else is good, doing schoolwork, doing housework, doing job work, you being your masculine energy, constantly being stressed out, can't even go to sleep, how are you going to be turned on? That's one thing. But the other thing is your body will tell you when a person is good for you, when a partner that you're having sex with will be good for you. If you're like supposed to have sex because maybe he's been treating you nicely and he took you out on a nice date or two, or whatever the case is, but you're not into it, you need to listen to your intuition. Maybe this guy has certain illnesses and diseases that you don't know. Maybe he has certain stresses and certain things going on in his life, because when you have sex with somebody, literally the sweat in a person's body, stress is actually contagious, because not only are you swapping fluids, but you're also swapping the sweat and the saliva, which literally cortisol and different things can be sweated, like could be in your sweat. So when you're interacting with somebody, that person is passing you certain bacteria, is passing you certain things that you may or may not want in your life, and your body will tell you. So if you're like, I'm supposed to be attracted to this person based off of what he's been doing, but something's off, maybe you need to ask questions like, hey, when's the last time you have been checked? Like, when's the last time you've gotten an STD test? When's the last time that, you know, you had sex and stuff like that? What do you do with your life? What are your values? Your body knows. Your body knows when a guy is not healthy. Your body knows when a guy is going to treat you terribly. Your body knows when he might be giving you a lot of energy that you don't want. Your body is very intelligent. So I need you to honor your turn on and honor your turn off. Honor your body's full hell yes. If your body is a full hell yes, that's good. That's when you're supposed to do it. But if there's any hint of you that's like, not really, you don't have what you need to feel safe yet. And that's the first question you need to answer yourself before interacting with anybody sexually. And I'm tired of this society that says that we should just be these, you know, we should just get into it and we don't need anything. We just need a $300 date and that's it. No, that's not the case for most women. There's other things that are interacting with your sex drive, like your emotions, like your nervous system, like how stressed you are, your daily habits, even your diet. Are you getting sleep? Are you getting sleep? Are you getting proper restorative sleep? How are you going to get dick if you don't get sleep? You're not going to have any energy. So we need to go back to the basics and understand, how's our health doing? How are we doing on a mental level and a physiological, biological level? How's our health doing? How's our lifestyle? How's our habits? Once we get that in order, we need to understand, what are our values? What do we need to say yes to sex? What are our personal requirements for sex? Do you need commitment? Do you need him to be your fiance? Do you need him to be your husband? Do you need him to be your boyfriend? Even though I do not recommend the boyfriend thing. However, maybe that's what you need. And we need to have these conversations more and more, that maybe a lot more of us than what we have been told aren't actually okay with casual sex. A lot of us need more. It sucks when you have sex with a person and they don't text you back. So much so that there's articles online of how to not get attached during sex, how to not whatever, and they're speaking directly to women. But maybe there's a reason why we get attached during sex. Maybe there's a reason why women are more likely to release more oxytocin in their brain, the bonding hormone, when they get body to body and start touching a person and having sex with a person and kissing a person. Because when we bond with somebody, that means we are associating that person as our partner and as the person that is going to be having our kids. But then when that person that is supposed to be our partner doesn't act like it, and he's not texting us back, he's not honoring us because, quite frankly, he doesn't care and he's not emotionally invested, maybe that's the reason why a lot of us have psychological damage, depression, anxiety, basically because your body is saying yes to something even though it's a no, even though you feel abandoned, even though all your triggers have been coming up, even though you weren't 100% ready, you said yes anyway. Your body now doesn't know the difference. Your body is now thinking, oh, I'm having sex, I'm supposed to be into it. I'm having sex, I'm supposed to be into it. I'm having sex, I'm supposed to be into it. Somebody's penetrating and pounding you and your brain is not into it. The body is going to now translate that as rape. It doesn't matter if it was consensual enough. The body is now going to translate that experience as rape. So you have been getting raped over and over again on a subconscious mind level, and you wonder why you feel depressed, empty, and unfulfilled. And I don't mean to be crass or rude, but I literally want to say this. It's time that we learn how to say no. It's time that we learn our values, and it's time that a lot of us honor our yes just as much as we learn how to honor are no. If it is a no, listen to it. And that's the premise of this video. And if you have issues with sexuality and feeling turned on, you can't come, you can't orgasm. I just did a class on this because I used to struggle with feeling numb during sex, feeling numb even with sex with myself and stuff like that, until I did certain practices with yoni eggs and meditation and the actual healing inner work of release. Then I was able to experience orgasm left and right, left and right, left and right, because I had to get in tune with myself first, and society doesn't teach us this as women. If you want to learn that, check out my class, subscribe to Rich Goddess Club. We talk about it. Yoni eggs, massage, connecting with the body, releasing stress, sleep. It is a process, but if you learn how to do it and you learn how to listen in on your intuition before you get involved with any partner, you will win. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed this video. Please like this video up. People need to see this. If it isn't 100% yes, it is a no. Honor it, move on, and move accordingly. And figure out why, and ask yourself, why am I not 100% into this? Reflect on it and listen and hear your heart, hear your truth. Practice that, and you'll be so much better for it. All right, I hope this goes over well. I don't know if it will, but I'm learning how to speak my authenticity and my authentic truth, okay? So here I am. All right, guys, peace out.